Tommy, we've got some breaking news. The FJ is back. And in this video, we're going to tell you all about it. We're going to show it to you, and we're going to tell you the catch.
Yeah, so this is a pretty big piece of news if you're into Land Cruisers, because Toyota has unveiled a new flavor of Land Cruiser. So we've seen the 300 series, a really, really big one, which is for sale around the world in a couple different forms. We've seen the 250 series that we get here in the US, and this appears to be an even smaller version of the Land Cruiser.
Yeah, they're calling it the Land Cruiser FJ, but it certainly has a lot in common with the FJ Cruiser. That is, of course, the iconic car that was designed in California and sold here in America. So in this video, we're going to show you the new FJ. We're going to talk about it. And let's start with the size, because it is 4 inches, at least a wheelbase, shorter than the previous FJ Cruiser that was sold here.
Now, here's the thing about this vehicle is the name is kind of confusing, Land Cruiser FJ. Because historically, every Land Cruiser has been an FJ.
Of course.
FJ40, FJ60, FZJ80, FJ80, right? All of these kind of internal designations. They're just calling this one right now Land Cruiser FJ. And like we mentioned at the beginning, it appears to be kind of like a little small light-duty version of a Land Cruiser.
Yeah, now, of course, the problem is that it's currently only in Japan, but I think there's a realistic opportunity for Toyota to take it to the rest of the 190 market that Toyota sells cars in, including the US of A, which would be exciting. So let's start with the design. What do you think of the look of the thing?
It's very cartoony, right? So
it is very cartoony. That's a good way of putting it.
This vehicle is quite a bit larger than a K car, so it's not like some little delivery van. It appears to be a real-sized car, but like it's got these really goofy kind of fender flares on it, right? These big chunky plastic bits in the front and the back. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a caricature of a Land Cruiser.
And like the current Land Cruiser 250 that's sold here, it does have 2 different front fascias depending on, I guess, what your mood is.
Yeah.
And unlike the previous FJ Cruiser, which was sold here, it does not have the clamshell doors, so it's got traditional doors.
Now, to its credit, it does actually have some cool-looking potential capability. Cole, if you want to go back to the gray one that we were just looking at, this one does have a raised air intake. It appears that it has rock rails on it. It looks like it has a front skid plate. It's got a roof rack. But then, Cole, if you go to the picture of it off-road from the back, it's actually interesting. This one has a solid rear axle on it as well, along with some chunky tires. So even though it looks like a pint-sized Land Cruiser, it might still have some off-road capability.
You sure that's a solid rear axle?
Yeah, you can see it in the picture.
Well, is it going to be body on frame, or is it going to be unibody?
Well, based on that image right there, I think it's probably body on frame, because that clearly is a rear differential. And you can see like the trailing arm there that would likely attach to a frame, and the way it's got rock rails. I predict that it is a body on frame construction.
Which would be exciting because...
Oh, especially because it has part-time four-wheel drive.
Yeah, so Toyota has announced it has part-time four-wheel drive, which to me suggests that there's going to be 4 high, 4 low.
Yeah.
The traditional kind of four-wheel drive that, let's say, Tacoma would have.
Yeah.
All right, how about the powertrain?
Well, currently they say that it's going to have a 2.7-liter engine. Now, do we know the specs on it, like the horsepower and the torque?
I don't think we knew that. There's a spec sheet, Cole. Can you find that in the Toyota Japan press release that just came out? We can look at the specs. They haven't announced a lot about it. Keep scrolling down at the very bottom. If you scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. There it is. There's your specs. Okay,
wheelbase engine, 2.7 2TR FE, transmission 6 Super ECT, 2-row 5-passenger. Okay, here we go. 120 kilowatt, 246 newton meters of torque. So that's like 130 horsepower, 140 horsepower. So it's not a ton of power. Correct me if I'm wrong with my kilowatt to horsepower conversion. I think that 2.7 is the same engine that we got in the old Tacoma that they have been building for the last 400 years. So it might have that inline 4-cylinder that we've seen forever and ever and ever and ever. This kind of looks like a vehicle that would be developed for like developing markets. It seems kind of like that affordable, we're trying to get people mobilized in tough-to-reach environments is what it feels like to me.
Well, it could be, or it could be a direct competitor to the Jimny in Japan.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like that, though.
Not the K-car Jimny, the regular Jimny.
But even the big one, it doesn't seem like it has that level of capability.
Or it could be a competitor in America to the Bronco Sport if they were to bring it here. Now, let's talk about kind of where you could price this. I think that there is definitely room in the market for a less expensive Land Cruiser that would slot in under the regular Land Cruiser. So right now, of course, the way that the lineup goes, and we just recently had a chance to look at this vehicle. There's the RAV4 Woodland, which is the new off-road trim of the RAV4. That's kind of the base. And
Sure.
then up from there, you would go to the 4Runner. Up from there, you would go to the Land Cruiser. And then eventually you'd end up in the Lexus lineup.
Well, you got Sequoia too.
And Sequoia. Eventually you'd end up in the Lexus lineup. But below the RAV4 Woodland, which is their most off-roady new 2026 RAV4, I think there's room because we're guessing that that's going to be around 40,000. So there's certainly room to come up with a 30, 35, $1,000 car, which this could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone's going to buy this in America.
Okay, well,
What do you think? Do you think someone would buy that? It kind of looks like it's made out of Legos.
yeah, I completely agree. It kind of looks like a Tonka toy, but I think if you were to give it, a little bit of height,
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of some, more aggressive off-road tires, it wouldn't be quite as, like you said, comical, but it would be a little bit more off-roady and a little bit more rugged looking. But it does have all the bits and goodies that, like you said, I would expect on an off-roader. Now, Cole, there is some video of it that Toyota put out. We can show that video. Now, this video does look like it's been AI'd, unfortunately, and all these pictures are from Toyota, by the way. And did we show the interior yet? Let's show the interior before we go to the exterior video, because the video is kind of silly. So there's the interior, and that looks very off-roady to me. I mean, look at that big shifter, Tommy. Look at those.
Very off-roady.
Well, it does. It doesn't. I mean, that looks super off-roady.
Does it?
Yeah. Do you see a locker in there?
Yeah, it looks like it's got a rear locker. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, look, it's got the high range and low range selector there. It's got traction off. It's got hill descent. So maybe it's got some more.
Why'd you
than
laugh at
just
me when I said it looks off-road? It's very square and it's very boxy and it's
it
very
looks like
purposeful.
every other Toyota interior.
It's got those nice, cool round vents that look like giant.
It's very off-roady, round vents.
No, it
It's
does.
not like there's a transfer case lever sticking out of it. It doesn't look that off-roady. It's just kind of chunky.
It's got real buttons. It's got real controls.
Off-roady
It
interior.
does. It does. Compare it to like a modern car that's all screen. That
Yeah, but
to me says
compared to a
on-road.
FJ40.
Well, it's not going to be an FJ40. I mean, this is a modern version of that, of course. I think you're just being too down. You don't think this is coming. I actually think this is definitely coming. I think there's a lot of room in the marketplace in America, and I think that this is a market segment that is not being served. Where is Jeep with this?
Yeah, I agree. It looks like they're kind of cashing in on the Land Cruiser name.
Yeah,
for,
that's
for
fine.
kind of like a on-roady car.
No, a roadie car wouldn't have a rear locker.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have skid plates. It wouldn't have a snorkel. So I think you're kind of arguing against your own.
But it also has 27-inch tall tires.
Well, that's just because it's for Japan, right? In Japan, they have much stricter standards. And in the rest of the world, they have these standards where you can't have these super lifted cars because of safety or pedestrian safety. Only in America can we have, on the same road, a vehicle that's rolling on 44s and a vehicle that's rolling on 13-inch wheels, which is, a possibility. Like I said, this is kind of a goofy video because it looks kind of fake. But I'm excited, Tommy. Look, I think anytime you bring a new product into a marketplace that is stagnant, and I would say this market segment is stagnant, and especially from the world's biggest auto manufacturers, you create excitement and you create anticipation and you create, I think, something that will have the competitors upping their game.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
All right, so how much do you think that this would have to sell for in America for it to be successful?
I mean, look, if they could sell it at $30,000, it would be awesome.
I think it's more like 35.
But I think it's more like, well, given the screens and some of the tech in there, I think it's more like 45.
Look at it! Look at it crossing the rocks in the desert here.
Computer-generated rocks here.
And on your way to a lake where you can go fishing or you can go windsurfing. Look at it.
I think it's potentially pretty cool.
Look at it with the rest of the lineup there.
Yeah, but it's no 70 series Land Cruiser, right?
Well, and of course.
That's an off-roady interior right there.
As typical automotive enthusiasts, we always want what you can't have.
Yeah.
But look, there it's pulling in with the rest of the FJ family as the baby brother to the FJ70. Because if you look at the press conference they held in Japan today, they actually had the one that we drove, the 70.
Just right there.
Yeah, they had the 70 there, and I love it, Tommy. I've been trying to import a Jimny from Japan for the last year, and if Toyota actually brings this over from Japan to America, put my name down. I want one of these bad boys, because the problem is off-road vehicles have gotten, let's face it, too ginormous in America, and sometimes having a nice, small, compact off-roader that is body on frame, that is a serious off-roader is great, because I think out of the current crop of small off-roaders, probably the Bronco Sport is the most capable. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, you know what this looks exactly like?
What?
A Renegade. I mean, the
Renegade
proportion.
didn't have a locking.
It did
rear
not,
locker.
but the proportions of it are very similar. The kind of it's very wide but very stubby. It's got a really short hood. It's got like a really square cabin. It's very Renegade-y.
But we tested the Renegade off-road, and it was designed in Italy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if this does have solid axle, it could be potentially cooler. But
You're just really not loving this.
I don't like it.
Okay.
No,
all
I
right.
don't like it very much.
Well, let us know in the comments below. I'm on board with Toyota. Take my money. I love the fact that we could have a new affordable, and this will hopefully shake the Jeep tree to get them to actually come out with something, and maybe even shake the Ford tree.
Maybe.
You know,
Yeah, maybe.
there's a lot of other competitors that could come into the world, and yeah, it does look kind of goofy. There is a little bit of Lego quality to it. But I kind of like it in this bronze. Like I said, let us know in the comments below. And remember, you saw it first where?
On alltfl.com.
That's where you should go if you want to see all of our coverage. See you guys next time. Ciao.